Hi, how are we doing? It's Monday the 11th of August and I hope everyone is doing alright as per usual. That was kind of a medley of alright and okay. I think today's going to be one of those days where I can't really talk. Anyway, I've got to head off into the high street quickly. That's where we're going to now. Oh man, it's just started raining. Has it? I think it has. I mean, it's by no means a nice day. It's by nowhere near an August day today. You know, it looked alright. It looked quite bright earlier. And then, funnily enough, I opened the door to come out and it greyed over. The sky's gone a bit darker. Like I say, it's just started raining. But you can see on the windscreen of that car there, some spots of rain. So, oh, damn it. I was just looking at my hair in that last clip and oh, there was a plane. I thought I heard like thunder crash. Yeah, I was just looking at my hair in that last clip and I couldn't work out whether it was the hairspray or if it's just where the dye has started running out, but there seems to be a sort of two-tone look going on. Maybe it's just like the light reflecting off of the hairspray, I think. Well, it looked a bit weird. I bet in this clip it hasn't done it now. Go back and watch the previous one and see if you notice it. It looked very odd indeed. So I just got in. Holy mother of God. That's certainly something out there. Just, oh my good gravy. There's, wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's certainly something. It's quite therapeutic in a way. I find, or what I have just found, is like literally just staring up at that tree. Right at the top of that really tall tree. Whoa! You see that? Whoa! God! I'm a big fan of storms. I'm a big fan of wet weather in general. Storms are good fun. But yeah, I find just looking at the top of that tree there, just looking at the rain rather than the actual tree, it's quite therapeutic. But man alive, that's a lot of rain. It's a lot of rain. It looks even worse out the front. The road has flooded. It's been raining 3 minutes, if that. The road has flooded. If I open the windows, how wet do you reckon we're going to get? Yep. They're doing building work next door as well. Right, it's been humming all day and they've been digging up the garden. I mean, they're bothered. Might as well have just washed it away. Wow. It's the 13th of August today and I'm in London. I think my phone was just going off as well. No, it was. It's just Jay. Yeah, I'm in London today because funny enough Jay has a job interview up here today. So I offered to come up with him, and while he's in the interview I'm just kind of standing around waiting. It's quite odd coming up here because for the past few times I've come up there's been different buskers all the time and now it's just the same ones. It's kind of sad. I wish there was some different ones. Although having said that, there's something rather interesting going on. See those two there? I'm kind of angling you up so I'm getting the National Gallery in. But those two just sunbathing on the steps. It's very odd. that people just decide to sunbathe on the steps in Trafalgar Square. But having said that, people might argue that it's odd that I'm walking around filming myself talking. So there we go. There's a giant blue cock. On the flip side though, you kind of blend in if you have a camera in London. It doesn't really matter what you're doing with it, you just kind of have one and you instantly look like you're part of the crowd. Almost like you're kind of a tourist almost as well. It gives off that sort of impression. But you do need to be careful when navigating around because I try and approach moving around London the same way I approach driving. I'm the only one who can do it properly, and no one else can. So by going like that, you anticipate that everyone is just going to make a mistake and cut you up, and you can avoid that happening, or at least make its occurrences less common. It's not ideal. It's not an ideal practice. I mean, sometimes you do still get that happen, but it certainly minimises it. But going back to blending in, I think the best way that you can do it, if you're doing this sort of thing where you're obviously not blending in, is to try and make it so that you do, because ultimately it's not the embarrassment factor, you know. You're never going to see any of these people again, so there's no point worrying about that. But at the same time, you don't really want to look out of place, so putting on a show with your voice can sometimes help some way, you know. Hi there. It can sometimes help. Hello. This is the thing. People keep on catching my attention. That's all it is. People ringing their bells. There's a lot more here. I wonder if we're going to get any more. What I quite like walking around is you see all these guides and stuff holding up these little paddles so that all the people they're with don't get lost. It's quite amusing. You might see one in a moment if you're keeping an eye on the background. If I just kind of move you to the side and keep my head out of the way, you might be able to see one of those. I've often wondered if it'll be easy to kind of join one without anyone really noticing. I don't really know how it works, if you just kind of meet these people on the street and then they take you on the tour, or if they're people that a group have kind of booked. Because if it's the second option, then that's going to be a bit harder to infiltrate. But, you know, having said that, it's could be quite fun to see how long you can kind of join in before they realize that you shouldn't be there, you know? I'm gonna stop now. Here's the rule of thumb. You will always be able to tell who's here for a holiday. You know, who's come out with a big group of people for... You'll be able to tell who the tourists are really easily, because they're the only ones who are happy enough to walk around with Union Jack. You'll notice that not a lot of people who are what's the word I'm looking for? Who are locals? Not a lot of them are proud of the fact that they want to flaunt the Union Jack, you know. A lot of them are kind of like, well, you know, we like it here, but we're not that proud, you know. So that's the way you can kind of tell really easily. But I can't work out how this crossing works. So a little bit different. I've got the button here, but my lights say red. Everyone else's lights say red. I couldn't work this out at all. This is unique. This is unique among crossings in Britain. That gave it away, didn't it? Britain, England, the UK. This is unique. A unique crossing in the road infrastructure of the UK. I would hate to be those guys. Just, that's your day. You stand there all day. Every now and then you have to do, you know, your march and your changing of the guard and all that. But then you spend your entire day just stood there whilst people from all over the world are coming and taking photos of you and videos and stuff. Guilty as charged, but do you know what I mean? That is your day. I don't think I could do that as a job. You know, I imagine the pay is probably phenomenal, you know, working for the Queen's Guard, but I couldn't do it. I don't think I could. I'd get so bored so quickly. And you know, they have like a nerve of steel. You know, they don't laugh. It's impossible to make those guys laugh while they're working, and I'm not like that. I would struggle so hard, you know, because I kind of before you might have to be a bit of a grumpy person to be able to do it. Maybe I could do it. All of this as well. I mean, I have no idea what's going on, but something's happening over there. Can't see, but like, if you was the Queen, this is your front garden, right? Just imagine that for a moment. You know, you're at home, and then you look out in your front garden. All of a sudden, there's reams of people still all over your walls and plants. You're very old. I'll try and tell you, I'll hold you guys up over there. Oh, here we are. Still have no idea what was going on. Although, obviously, the star of that show was the fella in the green t-shirt. Shout outs to you and well done. That was a video bomb and a half if I've ever seen one. It's a good job. See that? Climbing on my gate. I'd have none of that. If I was the Queen, wait, if I was the King, I would have none of that. They'd be shot. Look at him. This guy. It's just like a little climbing frame for him. You know, it's not someone's gate, you know, someone's fence, someone's private property. No, it's just all over it. I'd be fuming. I'd send electrical currents through all of them. It'd be outrageous. Having said that, there's a really nice smell from like those theme park donuts coming from behind me, and I'm really hungry. So if it wasn't clear, we are at Buckingham Palace, and chances are I've probably just missed some form of royal going out to do their shopping. But that's alright, it's true to form. You know, there was that time where the Queen was just round the corner, and we went to visit her in Bromley, and she'd already been and gone. So don't worry, it's only the second time out of two that's happened. And then of course there was the time very recently where London Mayor Boris Johnson came to visit Bromley, and we missed him there as well. It's a shame. I'd have liked to meet him again, because I met him at the Olympics when I was working down there for the Olympics. Kind of stood, listened to him for a while, just chatting and stuff, and he's a great guy, you know, exactly the same as he seems on telly. He's going to be absolutely fantastic. If I had a country, I would ensure that there was absolutely nothing of any cultural significance, because it's no wonder the country's struggling, because no one can get anywhere to do anything. It's heaving with people, and you know, no one can get anywhere. I would also publish a test, an information guide called the Pedestrian Proficiency Test, where people have to take to make sure they can use pavements properly. So anyway, Jay said his interview was in about 15 minutes. I have no idea how long it will take after that, but I think in the meantime, just carry on doing what we're doing, just sort of wandering around London, kind of going to places I haven't really been to before. Trafalgar Square is the place I've always been at, and obviously university and stuff. So just kind of walking around now, just letting the feet take me to wherever it is they want to go. It's not something I've done for a while, and it'll be interesting to see where we end up. Just kind of going for a little peruse around, seeing what we can find, see if there's anything interesting. You're pleased to know pathways have opened up a bit more now. That's one of the reasons why I hate London, because no one knows how to get around. And this is what I'm saying, you know, the pedestrian proficiency test would ensure that everyone would be able to use the pavement. Everyone would have to take it. Residents and tourists, everyone, just to make sure. My country, what with its no cultural significance, no tourist hotspots, in compulsory pedestrian proficiency test, it does sound a bit dictatorial. It's not going to be, believe me. When I get my own country, it'll be great. It won't be dictatorial at all. It'll be fantastic and lovely, because everything that doesn't work will be removed and modified to be something that does work. You know, for example, if everyone can use pavements and be a proper pedestrian properly, then no one will have any trouble getting anywhere. Everyone will be happy, and whatever my country is called will be happy, and it will work, unlike most in the world. Trust me, it makes sense on some level. I think it's kind of one of those things where you have to go, I can kind of see how it would work, but putting it into practice might be a bit hard. You know, there'll be a whole new corner of the black market for forged pedestrian proficiency passes. Stuff like that. May need to rethink some aspects, but for a starting baseline, I don't think it's too bad. It's a uniquely British thing to be asked for directions to somewhere you have no idea where, but to give your best attempt at finding it anyway. I was just asked for directions to somewhere that I have no idea how to get to, but I gave it a go. I don't know why we can't just, as a nation, go, I don't know. You know, we have this obligation to try and help somewhat. And part of the reason why I'm filming this clip is so that I can check in the background and see if they followed my directions, or whether they got the underlying tone of cluelessness and asked someone else. It's so weird. Oh good, looks like somebody's in. Well, it's like a minefield of family pictures. You just walk along and there's got to be so many instances where you're going to have to duck around people because they're trying to get a nice new family photo in front of the palace. It's the wrong sort of place for someone like me, and I really want to move to somewhere slightly more suburban than well, the city, and then where I live now. Yeah, somewhere nice and out of the way. You know, where you don't have to always be dealing with people. That sounds bad, but it's just, people are idiots, and I don't want to have to keep dealing with them. Not everyone, admittedly. A lot of people are, sadly, the majority, and I seem to encounter the majority in my day-to-day life. Case in point, for instance, just waiting to cross the road, and the lights turn green, traffic starts moving, and there's this jogger who can't interrupt his jog for 2 minutes to just wait at the lights. No, he just jogs and darts in between all of the cars and stuff. I think, what's the point? How important is it that he, you know, carries on even when he could get run over? That's what I don't understand. Only in England. Oh, I'm delightfully sorry, sir, but I'm afraid you can't sit there unless you pay the £1.60 surcharge. Jesus. Here we go again. This reminds me of when I was younger. What I would used to do is that if the weather was like this, if it was raining, maybe a bit less heavier than this, if it was raining sort of fairly lightly, quite grey and overcast, generally happens sort of around autumn into winter time, I would come and sit by my bedroom window here, like I am now, and like you guys are now. I'd just sit here while it was raining and look out over the back garden, just kind of look around our own garden first of all, take it all in. You know, I know what my back garden looks like, but I don't know the details, if that makes sense. So I would sit here and I would look out and just pay attention to the garden, look at it, see where some of the grass needed cutting, where it might have been cut too much, and just kind of listening to the rain hitting the leaves, the ground, the conservatory roof there. Then I would look at the other gardens, the garden next door to the left, and have a look at it, maybe compare it. I'd look at the gardens behind us, wondering what's going on behind. Can't really see because of all the trees in the way and because of the spot that's now gotten on the lens, but that was going to happen anyway. But I'd kind of look out, wonder what was going on in the houses behind our fences, what was going on in their gardens. Over to the right, wondering what was going on into their gardens. Oh look, the rain's kind of eased off a bit. This is nearer to what it was like when I would sit here with the open window. But I'd just kind of look around and take everything in and sort of appreciate how beautiful it was to look at, to listen to. And smell. The earth has a very unique smell once it's rained, especially if it's rained heavily, and especially if it hasn't rained for a while. A really beautiful smell that comes from the rain kind of hitting the concrete, and I don't know what it does, but there's a really beautiful smell. Just kind of taking it all in. You know, obviously the window's wide open, so you sat here looking at what's going on, smelling it, listening to it, you'd feel splashes of rain on your skin, and it was probably some of the calmest times that I've ever had in my life. Just sat looking out of this window like you are now at the scene out of the window, but not just looking at it, kind of, I guess, looking into it almost. You know, you can see what you can see at face value, but just appreciating it a little bit more. Oh, whoa, that was a massive flash. I hope that one came out. A flash of lightning I tried to the flash of lightning I tried to get the other day didn't come out. I hope that one did. But it's just nice. And then obviously I would start getting cold, but like I am now. But I wouldn't necessarily close the window. You know, I'd kind of enjoy the shivers as well. I find being cold actually has a nice sort of feeling to it, because it's tingly, I get, which is the shiver, I know, but I enjoy that sort of tingle, I suppose. So even though I'm cold now, a little bit wet, I guess. I don't really see any real need to close the window yet. Rain is one of the most therapeutic things on the planet. I'm convinced of it. I don't think anything has the power to make you feel more relaxed than what rain does. Just looking at it, watching it fall, listening to it as it hits all the various surfaces, grass, ground, windows, leaves. Really enjoy it. Maybe it's a British thing, I don't know, because we have to put up with enough of it. You know, maybe it's kind of second nature for British people to look at the rain and enjoy it, because we're not used to anything else. The same way people in the Mediterranean see the sun and enjoy the sun. I just really enjoy the rain. I think the technical word for it is a pluviophile. But, yeah. I was just about to take a shower, and then I heard the rumble of thunder. I looked out the bathroom window and could see it was beginning to rain. And I didn't want to shower and miss it. So I've delayed having a shower just so I can film this. I'm probably going to need to dry you before I put you away, but this is what I enjoy doing. I don't do it enough these days. Like I say, I used to do it all the time when I was younger, in secondary school. It was good to just kind of have a moment. But I haven't had a moment like this for a long time. So I'm glad that I have now. I feel better. How are we all doing? It's Saturday the 16th of August, and this is going to be the end of the vlog. Normally we don't end on a Saturday, but haven't done a whole lot for the past few days. So yesterday, Friday night, I took the night off from work and me and Jay went out for a night out, because it's been a long time since I've had a night out. So, you know, we went out drinking, had a good time. Needed the night like last night, and today we just hung out some more, and then went to the pub to watch the Arsenal game, because Jay likes Arsenal, and then just again spent the day sort of hanging out, and I've needed it. It's been a good weekend. Tomorrow, Sunday, we'll talk about this more in a new vlog, but I'm working all day tomorrow. I'm starting at 11, working until 3, then I have a quick break, and then working from 6 until close tomorrow. So I need to get some sleep tonight. But that, like I say, that's going to do it. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye bye.